body's mental and physical faculties. Pope Francis has declared that the devil is here, and this is not a fairy tale. What the Bible has taught you, what you believe, is the truth. The demon chooses you. It watches and analyzes you, your strengths and your weaknesses. The Bible says the Antichrist will walk the earth and mimic the real Christ, and the deceived will worship this false prophet.
Frank, about 2019, when I was living up in Corpus, some friends of ours went and played up in Corpus, and they ended up staying at my place, which is totally disgraceful. It's up to those guys. So then he was sitting in my living room, picked up this first back guitar, and he started jamming on it, and I was like, man,
Strings were kind of messed up on it. So. It was a little rickety of a guitar, but I mean, just to bust out what I could,
So I heard him playing and stuff, and I liked the style. So I eventually moved back to McAllen, and
yeah, that's when this guy, it took about a month, I think it was a month or so, and he contacted me, and then we got to talking and stuff, hey man, this is the styles I like, pretty much, right up our alley, we can do a project. And shortly after that, Alex, I think he had already been moved back already. He went ahead and came over, and we sat down, we brainstormed names. We had a ton of names, man. From God knows what brutal names to regular names, like endless names. But we decided with Diabolepsy, man. We really liked the meaning of it. The whole the devil made me do it. We just had like a nice little ring, especially with the influences that we've had and what we're trying to do. So, we did that, and what was it, like maybe, I want to say, that was right before the pre-pandemic. So, we just started the band, we had ideas, but we didn't get to jam yet. So we did go on a little bit of a hiatus, maybe like half a year to a year. And then we started jamming again. And that's when, we're going to do Pitchfork Autopsy, which is going to be our original title to our demo. But as we went through the songs, as we went through the content and what we're doing at the time, it kind of shifted.
So originally the demo was supposed to be called Pitchfork Autopsy. We went ahead and went with Human Deformity Transformation due to the fact that we wanted to make the last track, the title track for the demo, so we went ahead and went with that. Pitchfork Autopsy will be coming out. Right now we're working on more material. We also have a single that's been out as well. It's called Diabolepsy. You might want to check it out. It's on all platforms. If you haven't heard us, take the time to check us out and let us know how we are. And then also for the end of the year, we do plan to do more shows. And like I said, finish off that demo late 2025, maybe 2026. It all depends. We work, so everybody has to work around schedule, and recording always something that we try to get into the studio, but sometimes it's kind of difficult, but we manage. So we already have some songs for Pitchfork Autopsy. One of them is going to be called Foreman Dies on Hypophagy. The other one's going to be called Bestial Disembowelment.
So as far as Diabolepsy, man, that'll be the tracks, like Diabolic said, for the new coming either EP or even demo, or even a split, like you said. But yeah, that's pretty much we're gonna run out 2025 with maybe playing some shows, and just keep a lookout for Diabolepsy. Give us a listen, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. And yeah. What's up, guys? Frankie Lepsy here from the band Diabolepsy. We are a brutal slamming death metal band from McAllen. What bands have influenced me when I started playing guitar? I was already jamming like thrash and like fucking metal, but the bands that influenced me the most were like the old school death metal bands, like bands like Death, Cannibal Corpse, Autopsy. And then when I started jamming a little more, I started getting more into the brutal side of things. Started jamming more bands like Deeds of Flesh, Dying Fetus, was one of the big ones for me. A lot of underground shit too, like Gut from Germany, Torso Fuck, was a real big influence on me. Bands like Cephalic Carnage, like I said. Those are really the bands that influenced me as far as like wanting to play guitar. What bands am I into now? I mean, I kind of kept the same influence as far as like the demonic style. So a bunch of like, Global United bands, Fluidity, bands like Rotting, a couple of New Standard Elite bands that I really like. Flesh Mango from California, those guys are cool. Defeated Sanity for sure, one of my favorite ones. But like I said, I kept the demonic style, so a lot of the bands that I do like are like, Relics of Humanity, Decay and Purity, some Diabolepsy, those guys are awesome. And for sure, Carnivore Precipice, man, those guys are freaking awesome. I love those guys. I think my favorite place to play and also where I want to play, I say my favorite place to play right now, dude, has been Mexico, man, for sure. Reynosa, Matamoros, they showed us a ton of love. We kind of go back there, vamos de honest. Where would I like to play? As far as the moment now, we have Alex, we're talking a lot about hopefully playing the Texas Domination Fest. Trying to get plugged in with the people. And that place is in Alton City, in close to Dallas. So that's one place we would love to play, man, for sure. What gear do I use? As far as amps, I am a PV guy. I love PV. I've been using PV for a long time. I do have a modded 6505 Plus, and I am running a MXR equalizer with noise gate. And I do occasionally use a TS9 Ibanez 2 streamer. As far as guitars, I am a Jackson person. I love Jackson, and I love Ibanez. So I do have a few Randy Rhoads Jacksons. I have a 7-string, and I do have a few RGs that I use live and in the studio.
Hey, what's up? This is Diabolepsy, vocalist from Diabolepsy. What inspired me to become a vocalist? Actually, I used to play bass, so for all those old school guys that know me, they know I used to play bass. So my friend had a band going on at that time, and they didn't have a vocalist. So he asked me, hey, let's try out the vocalist. I tried it out, and then the rest is history from there. What bands have influenced me? A lot of the old school, Death, Creator, Death, Obituary, some Suffocation, some Mortician, a lot of the old school stuff. What bands am I into right now? Well, right now we're kind of in the studio, so I'm not really listening so much. I do like to stay away from the music, just so we can have our own, I don't want to have too much influence from the other bands. But as far as when I'm not in the studio, I like Jesus Flesh, I like Extermination Dismemberment, I like The Fear of the Goddess, I like Pile, I like The Evangelic, a lot of those bands I'm into right now. Where do I like to play? I like to play in Mexico, actually. A lot of the guys out there shows a lot of love. Saludos para esos allá en México. Diablito y su producción, Reino Infierno, Dosis de Rock, y los demás cabrones que vienen a soportar. Yeah, as far as that, Mexico is really good. Like to play at. Where would I like to play? I'd like to play maybe San Antonio, Corpus, Houston, Dallas, Laredo, New York, California, Florida. Check out what the scene's like out there. And as far as anything else, maybe some fest. What's up with the masks? Yeah, some guys told me that if I was trying to hide my identity. Actually, no, nothing like that. I feel that each song is an individual song, and I gave them each an individual character. There's going to be about 10 masks. Right now I'm on number 6, and after that we'll see where we go from there. What's coming up for Diabolepsy? Actually, right now we're in the studio. We're trying to record. We have a maybe possibly EP, maybe a demo coming out. We're going to call it Pitchfork Autopsy. We already have 3 songs to that. We have Bestial Disembowelment. We also have Gorman Diazanical Phagy. We got a few others in the works already. So make sure you check that out.